And if you have not established a credit history, you may potentially pay $16,000 on a $10,000 car because of your interest rate versus potentially $11,000. Credit's super important because without good credit, you will have a very hard time affording things in the future. There are people out there, YouTubers, streamers, who tell you, don't get credit cards, don't do all this because it's bad. Those people are setting you up for failure, and I'm going to tell you why. Because, yeah, when you're 19, credit doesn't matter, but wait till you finance a car, wait till you finance a house. Okay, so let's say you're 17 years old. How do I build credit if I'm 17 years old? It's very generalized. Let's say you live in the US, you're 17 years old. You can't own a credit card at 17 or 16, but you can have a checking or savings account. That's super important. You're going to want to get a checking account or a savings account, and you're going to want to fund that account, even if it's only a little bit at a time. Why? Because when you have money in there, it lets the bank know that not only are you an existing client, but you have money in the account and that you fund that account, which means you have money, right? Like, this person always deposits money, so if we give them a line of credit, they'll be able to pay it back, right? Okay. So you start building that. You get your debit card, you get your checking card, whatever. You start building a budget. You start practicing with that anyways, right? At 18 years old, you can apply for a credit card, but you don't want to apply for a regular credit card. Why? Because your APR, APY, whatever it is going to be significant, 20+%. That means you are going to owe 20% interest on the money you borrow. Because you're an at-risk, you're a very risky lender, right? They don't have any history on you. They don't know you have a history of paying back, so they're going to charge you out the ass for this, okay? But there is 2 workarounds with this. 1, secured line of credit. What is a secured line of credit? This is where some banks will allow you to deposit money into a CD, okay? You put your money into a certificate. You can't touch that money. Generally, it grows at a very small rate, more than your savings account, but it backs up your credit card. So you can go and open up a $500 CD, and then the bank will give you a credit card with a $500 line of credit. Your interest rate will be slightly lower because, hey, the bank's like, hey, listen, if for some reason he maxes this out and can't pay it back, we have guaranteed funds right here. We have guaranteed funds. So you take that $500 you saved. Let's say you saved $2,000 in your checking account from 17 to 18. You take $500, you put it in a CD, secured line of credit. Therefore, your APR and your interest rate is low. Now, the key to good credit is to never carry a balance and to never get hit with late fees and interest charge. So at the end of the month or every 2 weeks, you pay off your credit card with what money you put in your checking account. And that you can reference my video that I did on how to make money on credit cards for cashback. Same thing works here even if it's not cashback. Now, some of these credit cards are cashback, so you can make money on top of that. Number 2 is a student credit card. Much riskier for the bank. You're going to have a higher APR, APY. But the issue is that at least you're going to have that credit card and you're going to be able to start building credit. Now, it's a small amount of credit, but as you start building this and the bank sees that you're consistent on payments and that you don't carry a balance, not only does your credit score go up, but your credit history goes up. There's a big difference between credit score and credit history, okay? Your credit score could be 850, but if you've only had one credit card for $500 and you've used it twice, your 800 credit score means nothing. It means absolutely nothing. So you need a credit history. Credit of basically, it's kind of like if you were to loan a friend out money, and every time you loaned him out money, he paid you back at the end of the week, right? You're more likely to loan that guy out money because you know you're going to get your money. But if there's somebody that you're kind of friends with, say, hey man, can you spot me $500? Yeah, when can you pay me back? Oh, I'll get you next week. Yeah, I'm not so sure about that. I'm gonna need to hold something. What do you got? Oh, here's my PS5. Okay, I'm gonna hold that till I get my money back. You see what I'm saying? Like, you're a little bit more skeptical. Bank does that in a similar way. All right, so now you've got your credit score, you got your credit history. After you've started to make purchases with this credit card, then you can apply for a larger line of credit. Oftentimes, they'll release the CD to you, or you can leave it to mature. They'll take any fees they have, and then you can up your line of credit. Do not up your line of credit until you have disciplined yourself and you understand what you're doing, and you get your credit history built. And the reason I say this is because between 18, 19, 20, 21, you may decide to buy a car. And if you have not established a credit history, the difference between you buying a used car at $11,000, for example, or $10,000, okay, your interest rate with a credit history could be 5% or less potentially, rather than 10 to 20%. Now, I want you to think about this compounding. The difference between 5% and 15% on $10,000 year over year. You're talking thousands of dollars. You may potentially pay $16,000 on a $10,000 car because of your interest rate if you have a hard time paying it down, or you're cutting the minimum payments, versus potentially $11,000 or $12,000. And if you pay it early, you don't have to worry about that. And that's why it happens. And then after you get that car and you start paying that, you're building more credit history on larger amounts of loans. So now, as you've slowly, methodically built your credit score up, when you start taking out bigger loans, some people do personal loans, right? Some people do debt consolidations. You go to refinance your house, take out a mortgage. They're going to pull your credit history. Your job that you applied for, guess what? They're pulling your credit history. And if you have no credit history or a bad credit history, you may not get hired, especially if you work around money. Because if you have a bad credit history and you're delinquent on payments, their thought process potentially, hey, you may not be good with money. I don't know if I want you handling my money. Okay? Does getting a loan help improve your credit score? It does. If you go to a bank and you take out a personal loan, some people don't want a car, don't need a car, but they want to build their credit and they're using credit cards or they whatever. You can take out a personal loan, especially now with money being so cheap, and then use it and then pay back the bank on a regular payment. Don't carry balances. Just do that. You can build your credit. The idea is that you want to be able to convince. I know it's stupid. Why do I got to convince a bank? Well, that's just how it works in the world. And you need a line of credit. The earlier you start, the better. Okay? If you have terrible credit and you're trying to get ahead, sometimes, I told you guys this in the credit card video, you may have 5 different credit cards that have 10 to 20% APR, and you're just using one card to pay the other, and you're always carrying a balance and you can't keep up. You can go to a credit union or a bank and get a personal loan for $10,000, and instead of 10 to 20 to 30% APR, they may give you 11%, okay? But you take that $10,000, pay all your credit cards off, consolidate it into a single loan with a lower interest rate, get peace of mind, pay it down quicker, pay it down better, and use that. And at the same time you're paying down all that money, you're building your credit back up. This is not an ad, but if you don't have Credit Karma, you are fucking yourself. Because you need to be able to check your credit score and see accounts open that's not in your name before it's too late. Okay? Whether it's Credit Karma or some other thing, I say Credit Karma just because it's free. If you do not have a credit reporting site that you have on your phone that you check weekly, you are setting yourself up to be bent over and screwed prison style. I'm being serious with you guys. I'm not joking right now. You need to have a credit report app that you can check your credit score, because you will find out about stuff that is opened in your name that you may not know about until it's too late and somebody's done a lot of damage, okay? For example, I can open up my Credit Karma because it's free. Obviously, it's not going to be in depth. Like I have LifeLock and stuff, but I could literally go into Credit Karma right now, right? I have my notifications set up. If somebody opens up a credit card or there's a large change in something on my credit, it alerts me, and I go check it. And I can, and if you dispute it right away, guys, it will save you. Somebody who grew up before these apps were available, I had my identity stolen. Let me tell you a little story. Here's what happened. I went for a drug test at a job. Okay? I went for a drug test at a job. And they took me, I won't say the company because I don't want to get in trouble. I went to the lab place, the testing site. It is the only place in a span of 2 years where my social security card and my ID were in the same place at the same time. The next day, in Cincinnati, Ohio, and then in Lexington or Kentucky or Louisville, Kentucky, I can't remember which one, $20,000 of jewelry was bought at 2 different K jeweler stores. Same day, 45 phones were bought and lines were open in Massachusetts at AT&T. Over 100 online credit cards were opened in my name and charged. Had we had credit monitoring systems back then, I would have known immediately, but I had no idea. Until 60 days later, I get something from my bank. It took me 9 months to clear, dispute, get everything turned around, and get my credit score back to where it was. If I had a credit monitoring system, whether paid or free, that alerted me immediately, I could have shut it down right then. This was 2007. It wasn't as where it was. The good thing was that I was banking with a credit union, and they were much better than a big bank because they do that. Now, I am not sponsored by any credit company, which I don't know why I'm not. But listen, guys, it's very important. Hey, Stocky, thanks for telling me about Credit Karma. I never checked before, and I just found out that my credit score is 800. Nice. Is a 760 credit score good? Someone told me they have that. It is if you have a good, remember, credit score and credit history. I would much rather have a 750 score with a massive credit history than an 850 score with without credit history. And so would a bank. Go check your credit, guys. Go check your credit. What if I don't use my card that often? Is that bad? Not necessarily, but check out my video that I did on my YouTube channel about cashback credit cards and how to make money. You could literally be making a ton of money cash back by using your credit card the same way you use your debit card. If you don't have an issue with money and you're not paycheck to paycheck, you're not making money that you could be getting for free and building your credit score at the same time. Obviously, guys, Credit Karma gives you an overview, and through Credit Karma, you can get your Experian, your FICO, and your Equifax. It's not an end-all, be-all, but it is helpful. My credit card got dinged for paying them off every week. My utility rate was too low. Thoughts? That depends on your credit card, but oftentimes, depending on how you pay them off, you can get dinged, but it's better to get dinged for paying them off than getting dinged for carrying a balance. Trust me on that one. Should I use my credit card to buy everything as long as I have the money to pay it off from my account? I can't tell you yes, but that's what I do. I do not use my debit card for one single thing at all. I take my credit cards, depending on which one gives me more cash back that quarter or on whatever I'm purchasing, and I buy it. And at the end of every 2 weeks, I pay it off zero. So instead of using my debit card to buy everything, which comes from my checking account, I just buy everything with my credit card and then transfer from my checking account to my credit card and pay the balance down to zero. Nothing changes, and I get 5% of that money back. Yo, deep fried deals, dude. Thank you so much. What's the best cashback card one can get? It depends on a lot of things, but for me, I have a Amex through my credit union, which is great, but Discover right now is doing a huge deal where they'll match you up to, I think, 5 or 10% cash back for the year. Now, be very careful because this is not okay if you struggle with money or payments or if you're not disciplined or you're struggling currently with paying bills and stuff like that, that you're the people, if you are in that position, don't do it because you're the people that are the reason they can pay everyone else cash back. Okay? But Discover is, I'm not sponsored by Discover at all, but Discover is giving you up to 10% of your money back for free. Imagine getting 10% of your money back in cash at the end of the year. And sometimes it's even worth more if you use it towards travel or towards food or gas or whatnot. I mean, I'll give you an example. When I get gas, I do two things. When my Visa from Chase gives me the 5% quarterly and it's gas, here's what I do. I go get gas. I pay with that. I get 5% cash back of the total. So let's say I spend $30. Or let's say I buy 20 gallons of gas just for numbers, all right? and it's $2 a gallon. It's $40. I get $2 back, cash back, right? I was going to fill up anyways. But at the same time, I use the GetUpside app, which gives me 10, 15 cents a gallon cash back too. So that's 20 gallons at 15 cents. That's another $3 off the total. So that means I bought $40 worth of gas and I just got $5 back. I didn't have to go out of my way and do anything. I was going to get gas anyways. So why would I not double dip on that? But you have to have financial discipline to do this stuff, okay, guys? Because if you have to, you set up auto pay. Because I know a lot of people who just forget because life gets busy. I am the biggest, person to sit here and say I forget shit all the time. So you set up auto pay. What's the 10% cash back? So Discover, I shouldn't be giving them all this free promo, but whatever. I don't care. I care more about helping you guys than that. So let me give you an example. All right, 5% calendar. They're going to give you 5% quarterly, just like I have on my my Chase card, right? So every quarter they give you 5% on something. So right now, anything you buy on Amazon, Walmart, or Target, you get 5% cash back. Imagine everybody in here. I want you to take all the shit you've bought on Amazon, Walmart, and Target from October to the end of the year. And I want you to say, wow, I could have gotten 5% of that back. Well, these are up to $1,500. Yeah, but I'm just saying, this is still money, okay? Most people in here aren't spending $50,000 on their credit card. All right, that's just one. All right, now this is just on the 5% bat right here. Now, if you want to go to the one that actually does this right here, here you go. Here are the main credit cards. That was just quarterly, okay? All right. Your cash back. Earn 5% cash back on everyday purchases, okay, quarterly, plus 1% cash back on this one. This is 5% cash back on another one. Where's the one that they're doing right now where the cash back? Let me do this real quick. Discover cash back match. There it is. All right. We'll match all the cashback rewards you've earned on your credit card from the day your new account is approved for the first 12 consecutive billing periods. So they're doubling your cashback. Now, how is this possible? Because people who miss payments get hit with this. Think about this for a second. 0% APR and matched cash back for the first year. I want you to think about that for a second. Then you cancel the card. Fuck it. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Now, guys, everybody's different here because your credit score and your credit history and your income, all that plays into it. This isn't for everybody. I'm just giving you an idea.